So, friends, continuing with our discussion on carbon accounting of academic campus, we said that if it is academic campus, the major contribution of emissions is because of the electricity which is consumed in the campus. Uh, we had also seen what things could be included in the scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 emissions of carbon accounting for academic campus. And once we are able to quantify all this scope 1 emissions, scope 2 emissions, and scope 3 emissions, your carbon accounting report is ready. But that is left incomplete if you are not using the results or the data which has been obtained from this carbon accounting. So the carbon accounting, comprehensive carbon accounting report would include the mitigation strategies. Mitigation means how will you reduce the carbon footprint of the campus. For example, one might suggest some electricity reduction options through an energy audit program of the campus, like retrofitting the conventional lighting with energy efficient lighting like LEDs, using more efficient air conditioners in the campus, wherever there are motors and pumps, because they are major sources of electricity being consumed. There we can use the variable frequency drives and operate those motors and pumps more efficiently. Uh, if there is a tremendous HVAC consumption, that is a consumption for cooling and heating, then we need to also use passive air conditioning options like building envelope, so that there is a reduced heat gain and hence your cooling load, AC load is reduced. Okay, so that if you are putting the mitigation strategies, and if you are able to quantify that how much electricity one can save because of that, that would mean that we have now included the carbon accounting mitigation strategies there. So let us say that there is a 10% electricity saving, and then you can talk also in terms of emission reduction. So 10% electricity saving would mean about 29.5 tons of CO2 is mitigated because of energy efficient measures. That we can discuss in the report. Use of renewable energy, can it be integrated? That has to be seen. Looking at the roof spaces, whether those roof spaces could be utilized for installing the rooftop solar. In my campus, I had suggested a rooftop capacity of 250 kilowatt power a peak, and that gives us approximately 3,75,000 units per year, because we are in this zone, tropical India zone, where you get a nice peak sunshine hours. So that gives us 3,75,000 units per year of electricity from solar, which obviously would offset the fossil fuel electricity and avoid the CO2 being released. So that comes as 307 tons per year. So how do you calculate that? So emission factor of electricity into the units per year saved, or the units per year generated from renewable, that would give you the CO2 avoided. Okay, that has to come in the carbon accounting of an academic campus. Additional mitigation measures like making sure that the leakages are properly managed of refrigerants, because you see that a very small amount is contributing a lot. Uh, Ensuring that the scope 3 emissions are reduced by interventions like carpooling program, or by incentivizing the consumers to shift to EV, or providing them some shuttle bus service, public transport from the campus. That would also be suggested in the report, and the corresponding calculations of reduction in the emissions of scope 3 especially could be quantified in the report of carbon accounting. So based on this case study, you must have understood that the major thing in the carbon accounting stuff is defining the system boundaries correctly. Once you have established the clear boundaries for carbon accounting, you can do the calculations correctly. And whatever you are including or excluding, that has to be clearly written in the report. Then the detailed emission calculations are to be included in the report, and they need to be categorized as scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 emissions. After that, identifying the hotspots, meaning wherein the carbon emissions are occurring majorly, and then prioritizing the intervention areas for reducing those should come clearly in the carbon accounting report of our academic campus. And then the proposed solutions, their economics, everything has to be included. And finally, we can include and wrap up the report with a nice conclusion, linking it to the ESG goals, environmental social goals. Okay, that would be the final report. In my campus carbon accounting study, I found that electricity has dominated in a major way. We had proposed a solar solution which can absorb 307 tons of CO2 per year, and we had used a holistic approach in doing the carbon accounting exercise, because our report does not stop at just quantifying the carbon emissions. It also combines with mitigation strategies like recommending energy efficiency measures, use of renewable energy, and shift in the transportation media. Okay, so this is about the carbon accounting of academic campus. I hope that discussion would help you in understanding the carbon accounting very clearly. Thank you.